And Joe, the one big story that came out this week, and this is something that I find comical, is the New York Jets are obviously desperate to sell tickets. And that's no surprise because it is impossible to market this team. We have no quarterback, the coach is questionable, and the roster is rebuilt. So they decided to launch this boarding pass initiative, Joe, which in theory, if you're a fan that wants to go to games for like $72 a ticket, that's pretty cool. But the problem is that you get the same benefits as a season ticket holder. So now, if I'm a season ticket holder and I'm paying $125 a seat, and here comes Joe Bozo, the bandwagon fan, or some guy just jumping along for the ride, and he's paying $72 a seat and he's sitting in my section, and I'm paying a PSL, how are you going to feel, Joe?
You're going to feel like you just got worked over. If you're a PSL holder, you absolutely are going to feel like you just got worked over. I think that this is just another, instance where you see that this front office they're just deaf. They don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand. We've talked about it time and time again, from the game experience to the stadium experience needing to be better. They just don't seem to get it. This boarding pass thing, it just absolutely works over people that have paid for those PSLs, that have scrounged and have saved up their pennies every single year to make sure that they can make their payments and buy their tickets. All it does is pretty much smack them right in the face.
It does. And the thing is, listen, and they have the caveat where it's like you don't find out your section till game day, whatever else. And, they're going to try to fill whatever seats they have empty. But, listen, I don't even care about that. So, it's like someday you could be upper level. But wait, what if you're lower level and that seat's $175? I'm still sitting next to a guy. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't think they're so desperate to sell tickets that they had to do something. This is a complete, whatever PSL holders are left have to be furious. They have to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on Jay for a couple minutes, because Jay is a PSL, and we have a bunch of people calling in for the same thing. And Jay, it's Joe and Tyson, and we obviously talked about the boarding pass. And you're a PSL holder, man. So when you first heard about this, what was your initial reaction?
Well, first, how's it going, guys? It's fun times in Jetland, right? Knicks and Mets and all this craziness is going on. But I'll tell you how I felt about that boarding pass. I genuinely, at this point, with my PSLs now, just so all the listeners understand, my family has 5 tickets in the Chase Club, so our PSLs were $15,000 apiece. So we sent the Jets in 2009 $75,000. No finance. We paid it up front, and so we are among the highest PSL paying customers that the Jets have. Now, at this point, in 2017, so we're 8 years in now, that money's gone. I look at that money at this point as a bad stock investment. You win some, you lose some, and we sent them the money. It's gone. We're never getting it back, and and so it is what it is. What I want right now, and what I think all PSL holders want is to get now the best return on their investment that they can possibly get. Everyone I think at this point is realistic about what's going on. The stadium, the atmosphere is dreadful. The stadium itself is horrifying. The quality of product on the field the last 6 years, and now probably this year also, is subpar. So it just is what it is. Now when they come out with programs like this boarding pass, I don't blame them. I understand what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is put more butts in the seats, and to me, that's a positive thing. I applaud their effort, but here's the thing, and exactly like what you said, Tyson, and Joe, what you said earlier, they're tone deaf. So what they're doing is they're doing these things without any regard or any respect for the season ticket holders that they currently have and the ones that are still left. So I have a plan. I don't know if you guys, if you guys have a minute, I want to explain to you what my plan would be if I was, let's say they created a job for me in Florham Park and made me, customer retention, the head of customer retention.
Jay,
this is what I would do.
Before you even go into your plan, but what is your reaction to this? If you're a PSO holder, you're sitting here like, all right, I feel like I'm getting screwed here, and you are. Because if somebody sits in your section for half the price, that's ridiculous. So what are PSL holders going to do? Are you calling in complaining, or is anybody doing anything?
Okay, I know for a fact I've gotten a lot of people have contacted me, look, we're NY Jets fans, so we talk with a lot of fans constantly behind the scenes over DM, so do you, Tyson. You hear it too, and there's going to be people calling in that are loyal callers that were also PSL holders. They're pissed, and rightly so. I think that there's a reason why they're pissed, though, and I don't think that the program that they introduced is the reason why the PSL holders are pissed. I think, that there's a way that they can do these types of things but not piss off the PSL holders, and that's why I want to introduce my plan to you. But I'm not angry about it, man. I understand why they're doing what they're doing because they're just trying to figure out any way at this point to sell tickets. But the problem is they don't understand their fan base. So this is
exactly
the boarding pass. It's going to be a colossal failure because it's just another failed effort. Like they're putting energy into it and they're trying, and I give them credit for that. But the problem is that the people who are introducing these things are not thinking like a Jets fan is thinking. They're not the butts that are in the seat. So they're just oh, maybe this will work, maybe this will work, and they're just grasping at straws, trying anything to get butts in the seats, and it's not going to happen. You can't sell spoiled milk. You know what I mean? Like even if you put it on sale for 50 cents on the clearance rack, it's still spoiled milk. You're not going to be able to sell it. So like what they have right now is an impossible situation unless they come up with an idea like what I have in mind. And Tice, if you're ready for it, man, I want to bring this fire because I really think that it's going to fire up some of the fan base and get them interested not only in retaining PSL holders but also in bringing in new customers right away.
Fire away. Jay, and I want to. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think that was Tyson that was talking.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Fire away with your theory.
Okay, great. All right, so I think that the number one thing that they should do, and I'm going to explain how they're going to do this after I say it because it's going to sound ludicrous and it's going to sound impossible, but I'm going to explain how they can pull it off. The number one thing that they need to do starting today, abolish the PSLs. Get rid of them, okay? Anybody who wants to buy season tickets going forward, no PSLs, nowhere in the stadium. Now, that may sound impossible, and people are going to say, how are you going to pull that off? What about all the PSL holders that paid the money, like myself, that are going to feel like they got screwed? Well, here's my plan to appease those people, right? So here's part two of my plan. You take all your inventory that you have available in that stadium, right, and you offer all of the PSL holders that you have left the chance to upgrade their seats for free to premium locations. So if you're in the Chase Club, you have the right to move in to the Coaches Club. Let them move into the next level for free. So if you're on if you bought lower level seats on the goal line or behind the end zone, you have the chance to move closer to the 50-yard line. If you're in the upper deck, you have the chance to move to the lower level, and you get to pick from the seats that are still available. So that's how you're going to reward your loyal customers. You're going to upgrade them for free into the next level that they didn't even pay for, and it's going to open up seats that are further up in the stadium that are not as desirable of locations, and then you're going to have to worry about selling those instead of selling the ones that are lower down. Now, in addition to that, I would start instituting all kinds of PSL only exclusive events. Have a day where if you have a PSL holder, during the season. If you're a PSL holder, you're invited. Everybody's invited to come down to MetLife Stadium on that particular day, meet the entire team, throw footballs around with them, open up the concessions. All the concessions are free and have a special day just for PSL holders. Now, what you're going to do with your extra seats, because there's going to be a ton of empty seats after all the people who already are paying for season tickets have their choice of any place in the stadium that's unsold. You're going to take those extra seats that are outstanding that are not currently sold. And what you're going to do is you're going to sell them for what you sell them for right now. Say the upper deck is $50 or $75 or whatever people are paying for those seats up there, or even the lower level if there's still unsold inventory down there. And you're going to tell everybody, buy in now, get in. We're rebuilding, so we want you to be with us for a long time. So if you buy in now, at a current level with no PSLs, we will freeze that ticket price for 5 years. So the people who, let's say somebody buys their tickets now at $75, right, for the entire season, and they don't have to pay PSLs. Well, maybe next year the ticket price or 2 years from now, when the team is, what they're selling to us, the team is going to improve in 2 years. Well, that ticket price may go up 2 years from now. But if you bought it now at $75, well, maybe 2 years from now those same tickets are $125. So now you have $75 tickets for the next 5 years, and you can resell them on the open market. You can keep them and go to the games. And so that type of creative thinking is how the Jets can possibly make this happen. And I think that, like, if they start instituting new policies for the current PSL holders and upgrade their seats and make them feel respected and appreciated, that the current PSL holders will appreciate that and in turn show them the same level of respect. When they institute these programs like the boarding pass, there's no respect to the current PSL holders. There's no contact. There's no, hey, we're going to do this. Hey, what did you think about this? They just threw it out there, and now people are pissed off and they're canceling. So I'm curious what you guys think about that plan.
You need a round of applause right now, Tyson. Right.
No, I agree, man.
That's a round
impressive.
of applause. Let's just give this man a round of applause. Yeah, that is a great plan, and especially when you talked about how they should have events where they should be able to throw footballs around with the players, the PSL holders that have still decided to keep their PSLs, because those are things that we've talked about in the past as well. Is the kind of the fan friendly environment needs to definitely step up in there, and connecting the fans with the team and making them feel like they're a part of the team as well, which will keep them coming back. And those are the things that we've talked about, stuff like that, time and time again on this show. But something that you spoke about, and I really want to get your thoughts on it. You said, the fact that the organization is so disconnected from the fans. They don't understand this is one thing you said. They don't understand the fans. What kind of steps could they take towards understanding the fan that isn't a PSL holder and is just not there for tickets or games? What can they do to kind of reach out to those people?
I'll tell you exactly what they can do, Joe. And I'm not applying for a job with them, but I think that, like, in order to understand the Jet fan, you need to be a Jet fan. And I think that they have people in the front office who are not necessarily, that they don't understand their blue collar fan base that created the Jets environment. They lost all those people because when they instituted the PSLs, that was just a money thing. That was just a numbers thing that looked good on paper. But in reality, they took I tweeted this out. They took a waiting list of like 50,000 people and turned it into, what do they have left? I mean, I'm being serious. The entire upper deck is not PSL. So it's the lower and mezzanine that are PSL seats. So what do they have left of all those seats? Maybe 20,000 seats that are still sold? You're not talking about a huge number of people. It's probably about the same number of people that have season tickets to the Knicks or something like that. It's like it's an arena full of it's a basketball arena full of sold tickets that they have at this point. So my thing is, relate to the fans, and you can't relate to the fans by being a number cruncher. You have to relate to the fans by being a fan, and I understand what the fans want, and I want to work with them. I want to help them. I'm going to write an article tonight that details my plan, in more detail than what I said, because I think that it really would create, a loyal, very loyal, happy fan base. Because, I'm telling you, if you took away the PSLs, let's say they made an announcement tomorrow, hey, we're very sorry about these PSLs. You know what? It looked good on paper, but at the end of the day, sometimes kind of like when in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, when they kidnapped the owner of the company and brought him in, and he said, sometimes things look good on paper, but in reality, they were just a bad idea. So this guy, Woody, if he put out a message, hey, we're sorry, we want to be better to our fans. PSLs were not a good idea. We failed you guys, and here's what we're going to do going forward to show you how much we care. We are going to abolish the PSLs. We're going to take care of all the people who paid for PSLs, because they're never giving that money back. That's just never happening, and I'm not expecting them to write me a check for $15,000. We're big boys and girls. We took the money out of our own pockets. Everyone is like, people want to cry about it at this point over spilled milk, but to me it's like, you make a bad investment, you can't cry about it. You just move on with your life and just think about it as sunk cost. It's gone. The money's gone. It's never coming back. So now it's just a matter of respect. Does the organization respect us? And that's the problem they're having right now with the PSL holders. They don't feel respected. It's not that they have necessarily problems with these, with these boarding passes and programs like that. But if they would abolish the PSLs and just sell their open inventory on the open market, and like I said, show them loyalty. Say, we're not going to increase our we understand the product on the field may not be up to your standards this year, but if you get in this year, you're going to get in on the low end, and we're not going to raise your ticket prices guaranteed for the next 5 years. So if those tickets go up to $125 and you're getting them at $75, well, then you got the best deal in town for the next 5 years. And that's because you showed us loyalty in a down year, that you were willing to jump in on our PSL. I'm telling you, if they did that, they would sell a ton of season tickets this year because people would buy into the long-term plan. And in the meantime, your PSL holders would be psyched because the people who were sitting in the goal line or in the end zone are now sitting on the 30-yard line because they were the ones that were loyal to the Jets, so now the Jets are showing that they appreciate it. And like you said, Joe, have a couple events every year that are only for those people that paid for PSL. So I say, hey, listen, in addition to moving your location, and giving you better seats, we're also going to invite you to Taste of the Jets for free. We're going to invite you to the stadium for free to meet with the players and give you some free hot dogs. And what would that cost them? They're talking about peanuts in the long run, but at the same time, it's a matter of respect, man, and that's where they're missing out, and that's where they're failing their PSL holders. It's not, they don't have. People don't necessarily have a problem with that with these programs, and they could do. And if they abolish the PSLs and they do that, they can sell those tickets any which way they want because nobody's ever going to complain again. And that's how you build a loyal following. That's how you build customers.
No, Jay, I completely agree. This is probably one of the best ideas you've had. And the one thing is, you actually get some kind of return on your investment now. Because right now there's no return. Yeah. It's actually insulting. The PSLs are a bad investment, and they're actually throwing it in your face by launching this new program where they get the same benefits. So it's like this kind of immense defense. Good. Okay.
No, that's exactly the point. The point is, if people always want to feel like they got a bargain, right? So now instead of feeling ripped off that they paid $15,000 for a PSL, well, now you paid $15,000 for a $25,000 PSL, or you paid $5,000 for a $15,000 PSL, and now you've got something for your money, and they give it back to you. What's the difference, Tyson? Joe, in reality, are they ever going to sell another PSL? I mean, maybe a couple, but you're not going to whatever inventory is left. It's now 8 years older than when it was brand new, and 8 years closer to the end to that stadium closing down. They'll never sell another PSL. If they do, it's going to be by some random thing that somebody needs them for their business or whatever whatever the thing is. But in reality, PSLs are abolished anyway because nobody's ever going to buy them ever again. So just get rid of it. I mean, but you can't get rid of it unless you figure out a way to take care of the people who still have PSLs, and those people who have the PSLs. They have to understand that money's gone, that they're never getting it back, because the Jets aren't going to take a couple $100 million and refund it to their, or whatever it is, $100 million, in PSLs and give it back. That's never going to happen. So it's just a matter of how are you going to, make your PSL holders that you still have left happy, and then still be able to sell those extra tickets. And that. I really feel like I came up with a perfect plan for them, and I'm gonna call them tomorrow. I'm gonna send them the email that I put together. I'm gonna call them, and I hope that they take take it to heart, because I think it would save that stadium, and it would bring back a lot of their blue collar fans. If they came out with that plan that I just detailed, and called up all of their old PSL people, and they called up all of the old people from Giant Stadium that were from the waiting list and everything, I bet you they would sell thousands of tickets. People would say, oh, that's awesome. You guys are bringing back the family atmosphere. You're getting rid of the PSLs. Great. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, I agree with you. I used to have season tickets, and I gave up 2 years into the new stadium. I just gave up on it because I just didn't think there was any value in it. I just got pissed off. It's just the whole stadium environment that's changed, which we've all talked about for months and years at this point. So, Jay, I give you credit, man. I think it's a phenomenal idea, and it helps the PSL holders. It also helps future season ticket holders, and it helps just Jet fans in general get the game. So, dude, congratulations, man.
It also helps the game day atmosphere, because now all the best seats in the house down low on the on the 50s and everything that were empty for the past couple of years, and that depressing look that it has. Now you take all your loyal fans that paid all that money, and you condense them down into the lower levels, into the 50s and everything, and now you have a loud lower deck. And then, if opposing team fans that come in, now they can't penetrate those lower decks because they're all filled with your most loyal fans. Now they got to sit upstairs. So it solves a million problems.
Dude, Jay, I think it's definitely better than what we're doing now, man. Because right now, what they have is a mess on their hands. And if I was a PSL holder today and I saw the boarding pass thing, I would have been calling my reps, demanding all kinds of stuff because it's outrageous. It's truly outrageous. So, dude, we look forward to the article, man. We look forward to the article, and this is a phenomenal idea, man. The minute you launch it, I'll promote the hell out of it because this is a really good idea.
It'll be up tonight. I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write it late night tonight, and we'll get it out there in the morning. But I appreciate the links and all that stuff. And I mean, hopefully the Jets take it to heart because I think that, like Joe, like you said, I mean, their main problem is they don't relate to their fans, and so it's not that they're not trying. I give them credit for trying. It's just that they don't understand how to pull it off, and it amazes me that they don't. But I'm sorry to say it. I'm not trying to put anybody in the front office, down because it's not from lack of effort. I think that they are trying, and I applaud them for that. But somebody needs to point them in the right direction. And I'm not saying that I'm a miracle maker, but I think that plan that I just outlined, I think that if they read that and they stick to that, I think they're gonna see a lot of success from that. And Tyson, I mean, you as a former season ticket holder, would you take a phone call if they told you that was their plan? And how do we get you back into the stadium? There's gonna be no PSLs. And all that stuff. I mean, you would at least listen to it, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I definitely would. Cause I felt just the way they handled me, I had tickets for 12 years. I felt completely disrespected by they handled everything. I thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So there you go.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And once you get it out there, man,
appreciate the time.
Man.
Definitely will.
Have a good night, man. Thank you.
Progressive presents Mindfulness with Flow.
You are a mighty fortress of supreme knowledge. Progressive Direct has not only revealed their rates, but those of their competitors. If you were any more in the know, you would be drowning in, the know.
Compare Progressive Direct rates with competitors' rates, because knowledge is power. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Progressive brings you Flowetry with Flow.
When Flo flows, she flows in the know. Mind ruminates the rates. Shown them all, I heed the call. Seeing the rest, I choose the best. Sometimes it's ours, sometimes it's not. When the fox walks, is it called a fox trot? That's a real question.
Compare Progressive Direct rates with competitors' rates. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
I gotta give him credit, Joe. He usually has some wild out ideas and does some crazy stuff. This may be the best idea he's had.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is. I thought it was remarkable. A lot of things that he talked about, I think if they really did implement some of those things that he said, I think it would do wonders.
Yeah, and the most important thing to remember is that, first of all, you have PSL holders that renew that are already bitter because they're not getting much return on their investment. Now you add in this fact where somebody can sit in your section paying half the price. I mean, why would you not default? Or why would you not call and just complaining and screaming and yelling and everything else? So talk about the perfect way to piss off what little fans you have left. I mean, that's just crazy. Yep. So we want to thank Jay for calling in about that.